Fulani man says IPOB has committed worse crime than bandits. Nnamdi Kanu has been attempting to realize the prohibited nation of Biafra, which his forefathers failed woefully to achieve, forgetting the fact that Nigeria of today is far more wiser than before. Are you sure about that? Even in ancient era, the forefathers of Nnamdi Kanu suffered grudgingly from Nigerian government, and ultimately they failed to acclaim their prohibited nation. Years after years, Nnamdi Kanu formed an irrational organization called IPOB for his aims to continue the journey, which even his forefathers failed to complete. But since God will never put a helping hand on any poisonous goal, they failed well on their journey. This article has a bitter tone. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's very, very against IPOB. But as the journey of IPOB ended, he again formed another illegal private security outfit called Eastern Security Network to continue wasting his time on what will never happen. As he has been attempting to cause tensions in Nigeria, a Fulani man, popularly known as Adamu Garba, has today made a clear elucidation over his plans against Nigeria, which made me mention that the Nnamdi Kanu has been attempting to kidnap the whole Southerners. What? I don't understand. Okay, it seems as though there's more to this Biafran thing, because if you're against it, people have their different reasons. But why do you see it as a threat to Nigeria? Why do you see it as a fight against Nigeria as a whole? Because then you're now being very abstract. Because if you actually really think about it, did Nigerians do they understand what, of course, getting our independence was very, very important, but still, in terms of us coming together, was it because we wanted to come together genuinely because we could actually work, or is it just because of independence only? Because when it comes to getting our independence, did we actually know the terms of us getting our independence? Because the fact remains that Nigeria is still under indirect rule through the British via the Fulani. It's factual. Go do your research. Well, this Adamu Gaba on Twitter has said, IPOB have done the worst. In their several failed attempts, they wanted to kidnap the whole people of the Southeast. Can you imagine the audacity? Few minutes after he exposes their crimes they have been failing to conduct, many people, which most of them are alleged members of the prohibited security outfit, drop their views and opinions concerning his claims. Someone says they have kidnapped already and you are not going to get us back again. Write it somewhere. IPOB have done nothing. What they're asking for is independent Biafra nation. I think what the sad thing is if we hadn't gotten our independence, would we still be independent? Because again, around 1960, a lot of African countries were gaining independence, and it just seemed a little bit too convenient for that to happen. Especially when around that time, not long after World War II ended, and the United Nations was formed, and so they were obviously there was a push for self-determination and obviously human rights, all that blah 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 blah. But in terms of Nigeria getting its independence, it's more like if the British didn't want to give it up, they wouldn't have given it up, because it just seemed a little bit too convenient. Because at that time, recent years before or after 1960, countries were getting their independence from Britain, France, all that. So the fact is, why are you so why are people so against Biafra happening? Because you cannot tell me that you're patriotic about Nigeria. Why? For what reason? Because the country is not working, and it's like there has not been any, in my opinion, any sufficient, apart from this NSAS process, but there really hasn't been anything like that before, where the government has been held accountable and asked questions. So now this is what we should actually be thinking. So it's like, are you just threatening that these people know what they're saying and they know what they're saying is fact? Maybe you need to go do some sort of work in your own brain, because it just is what it is. Someone here says, big bag, small bad, big bad, small bad, or na bad. Answer the questions. Kidnap her. The people of Southeast are all IPOB. They are all believers of Biafra, and you people can't stop that. Not now, not in the future. Another person here says, prove any kidnap or atrocity done by IPOB. You with all the power in the north, yet you're still the poorest and the most unsafe zone. Nigeria is dying and you're watching it, but you can't do anything. Exactly. So with Biafra, it's a whole different story, because from the beginning of time, they never really wanted to be with Nigeria. At the end of the day, the Yorubas and the Igbos came together and they actually compromised to be independent at the cost and at the expense of, their power in the future potential Nigeria, because again, they didn't have enough power, and the Fulanis only agreed to being independent on the condition that they would have majority power in, the government, and they would be the medium in which Britain would exercise indirect rule. So yeah. Someone here says, it is not possible. Please, you can negotiate with those bandits in the north and talk to them to stop abducting, killing. Can you? Yeah, true. Everyone wants to talk, but it's bad. Someone has, and obviously the article continues saying, by mere thought, one can easily believe that Eastern Security Network is a great threat to our national security, which was why Nigerian Army conducted an airstrike on them in Olu. But so the Nigerian Army can conduct an airstrike, but then they would let a sheikh by himself, Sheikh Gumi, by himself go into a forest to negotiate with bandits. Does that make sense? Are you making sense? No, what you're saying, does it make sense? Where the people in the south is complaining that the ESN was being a nuisance to them, why was the ESN even formed in the first place? Because the Nigerian army itself was incompetent to handle the Fulani herdsmen killings and atrocities going on in that area. So whoever you are, this article seems very, very, extremely biased. Very biased and very compromised. And it's like with a certain way and words that is used to, describe IPOB as prohibited and illegal, and the construction of sentences, it just seems just very, very bitter. Of course, taking this with a pinch of salt, it seems very, very planned, and it's late, and this is what it's come to. But we move. Put what you think about this in the comment section below. Do not forget to like and subscribe.